Hey, if you're a homeowner or you're thinking of buying a property, this is a video for you. At the time of this recording, it is September 30th in Northern Virginia, and Hurricane Ian has just left Florida. It's moving its way north, and it is the unofficial kickoff of the rainy season for Northern Virginia and the rest of metropolitan DC. Also, it's the kickoff of pumpkin spice, but back to the first topic. With the rainy season, there will be days we will get some substantial rains, and flooding can happen periodically in certain areas. But also, with heavy rains, there's the potential of water leaking into your property. And you do not want that. Water is a destroyer of many things. It can develop into mold, and you could have a lot of issues in the property. What I want to do today is talk about things you should be on the lookout for to either prevent water damage or to see if there is something potentially accumulating. Before I get into the topic, though, if you could like this video, subscribe, and in the comment section, just tell me what other topics you want me to talk about regarding taking care of the property. Okay, first thing I want to talk about is the most obvious, is the gutters. Let me just take a step back. You do not want leaves accumulating in the gutters, because if water can't get out, water will overflow in the gutters and could potentially get into any shingles that might be loose. As I back up. Another thing too with the gutters, and some people do not remember, you've got the gutters kicking the water out, but you do want to make sure the water doesn't pool up around the base of the property. So you want something either like this or a plastic tube pushing the water further away from the property. Another reason you don't want water accumulating around the base of the property is water is always looking for a place to go, and if there's any cracks in the foundation, if there's any cracks, it could get into the basement, it can get into the property and cause damage, cause the buildup or the development of mold. Another thing you'll want to do, if you can, check the shingles. If you can get back far enough, some binoculars, or if you have a camera on a drone, check the shingles, or you do the old-fashioned way, get a ladder, and check the shingles, see if there's any that are discolored, any that are loose, any that might come off. Because again, if it's not covering the roof, you could have a potential water building up. Another thing to look for, like I mentioned, you don't want water pooling. If you have any type of downward grade, I should say, in the property, water can accumulate and start doing damage, especially on fences. Now this is the case, this board is still pretty steady. But again, just as an example, you don't want water building up around pooling up around around the fence. You don't want pooling up around the base of the property. Also, on the inside and the exterior, look around to make sure everything is sealed up. Now this is an example. Look at the focus back on here. You definitely want this getting sealed up, because you don't want water accumulating. And also in this particular case, it's wide enough where little critters could get in there and then make a nest. Another thing you want to look for is around doors and windows, any type of discoloration. If the wood starts getting moist, buckling, you could have an issue. Always make sure you seal around the property, and always check for any type of moisture buildup. Like right here, sealing in there can help prevent. Another thing too, sealing around here on the top. Water finds, let me just turn the camera around. Water finds any hole, any gap it can get into and cause some issues. And another obvious thing you should look for. Now on this one, I'm on the first floor, so you won't see anything, but check the ceiling. Check to see if you see any brown marks, water marks forming in the ceiling. You want to get that addressed sooner than later, because the larger that gets in there, that means the more water has accumulated. If the house has an attic, turn the camera around. If the house has an attic, you can go in there and check the boards along the jousts along the ceiling. Anyways, thank you for watching. If you have any questions, my contact information is down below. Feel free to ask. And please like this video, subscribe, comment some things you want me to talk about in the future. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you in the next time.